Welcome to 100 Yards of Football today. It's our NFL Draft Prospect Special. Today, we're going to highlight Aqeel Glass, quarterback of Alabama A&M. So if you like the show today, please come in and share it. And joining me is a very special, talented guy. Tell you a little quick story. As you see the platform 100 Yards of Football, this young man actually started it with me back in the day. He's an Alabama State graduate. He's from Alliance, Ohio. Same hometown as the great Lenny Dawson. Remember him, Super Bowl IV quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs, Super Bowl champion. He does things in the city where he covers high school football. He told me a couple of years ago that Travis Hunter was going to be the best player by the time he reached his senior class. And I got great love for him. Ohio State Buckeyes, #1 fan. And, of course, he loves Roll Tide. And he's got something with me where he's not a really strong University of Georgia fan. But we're not going to get in there today. Today, we're going to highlight Aqeel Glass, quarterback of Alabama A&M. So if you like the video, please come in and share it. And joining me is Brad, the Truth Mason. How you doing this day, sir?
I'm doing great, Vince. How you doing today, brother?
Okay. Let's get right to it, my man. One more time. If you like the video, please come in and share it. Tell me what you love about Aqeel Glass's skill set, the quarterback at Alabama A&M.
First of all, he has what we used to call the prototypical size. You talk about a kid that's a 6'4" kid, that's 220 pounds, 220 plus pound kid, sits strong in the pocket, And so, like I said, I know that everything now showing these athletic quarterbacks who running around making plays outside the pocket. He's elusive, but he's not. You won't ever confuse him with Lamar Jackson running around. However, you're not going to confuse the two. But the kid, he's nimble enough to move around the pocket and play. There's not so that's what I enjoy about it. And you're talking about a guy who's been a 4-year player, and every year you saw the progression growing and growing and growing. So, like I say, right now, he's ascending as his draft process starts up. He's ascending, and everywhere he stopped here this last couple months, he's been to talk. At the end every workout, his name comes up. His name coming. So there's some things he's doing on the field and practice on the chalkboard, letting people know, okay, this kid, he gets it. He gets it.
What I like about Aqeel Glass that you brought up great points, but the arm, man, the arm is powerful. Then the touch, the well of his football, the beautiful touch on his football. But I'm gonna go back to some things about Aqeel Glass. Now, he comes out of Alabama A&M, royalty there. Howard Ballot, Robert Mathis, John Starworth, Oliver Ross, Johnny Baldwin. I don't mean to get you upset today because that's your arch rival. You went to Alabama State, so I don't mean to start nothing today. But he's coming from that right there, royalty.
Absolutely.
But this is the key, what I like about the young man. He played 5 years, 12,136 yards passing, 110 touchdowns. But the biggest thing I like about him, Bradley, is that he has a master's degree in civil engineering.
Extremely good student. We talking about playing high-level football, gets his degree. He graduated last spring when they had spring ball, which during spring ball he was the conference player of the year, by the way, during that same time while he's trying to graduate. He has an online shirt business that he profits from very well. So you love it because that's one of the better engineering schools in the state. I mean, realistically, it really is. I know this, like you say, it's arch rival school, but anyone you talk to up there, I talked to a coach who coached him his first 2 years and was talking about from the moment he got there, you knew, okay, how long is it going to be before he be our starter? They knew that after like a couple, like how long going to be before he be the starter was the question. From the moment he showed up in camp. So I think you love it.
Another thing I like about him is eyes, the body language. He got a great compliment from one of the greatest guys that ever played in the National Football League. Prime time says, Deion Sanders said, this young man might be a star at the next level. He wouldn't be surprised. But when I look at him, I like how that ball comes off his hands. It's like a cannon. It's like a cannon. It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. I go back to 1966 when I was 6 years old, going up on the hill on Halley Stadium, watching Eldridge Dickey.
There you
Then
go.
4 years later,
Legendary.
the guy, Joe Gilliam. Then another one, Gilbert Renfro, Brian Rampson, Doug Williams, Vince Evans at USC, James Shaq Harris, Reggie Collier.
Jimmy that's a name.
Back in 1968, USC. You're not feeling me. The guy can throw the football.
Yes.
Dennis Franklin at Michigan.
You throwing out legendary names.
But then a lot of people give him a hard time here in the state of Georgia. But he had a brief stint with the Cowboys. The ball similar to Quincy Carter when he was at his first year at Georgia. This young man can throw the football, brother.
He can spin it. And he can truly spin it. We're talking about big arm, and he has touch. Because typically big arm guys don't have, they issue often is touch because they arm get them out of trouble and they have to work on touch. He has extremely good touch.
Now I'm gonna throw something out there to you. A lot of people gonna question this competition, but that's all right though. Ben Roethlisberger just retired and played in Miami, Ohio, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. When you look at it, Terry Bradshaw went to Louisiana Tech, right?
Yes.
He got 4 rings. So let's don't question the competition.
Nah.
Doug Williams won a Super Bowl coming out of Grambling, the SWAC. And me and you know all the great players that played in the SWAC. But if you want to question production, 450 on UAPB this year. 462 on Texas Southern. 426 on South Carolina State. I'm going to throw this one in here, which I don't want to get none started, but I got to do it to you, brother.
Go ahead and give it.
Against Alabama State. So when I look at him, I look at greatness. I look at a guy that's got all the tools. And when you get to the National Football League, that's one thing that you have to really, really understand. You got to make all the throws. You got to be able to throw the football. AKA Jalen Hurts is struggling. AKA Lamar Jackson is struggling. I love their talents. But you're not going to last long. You know yourself, Bradley. The truth, Mason, that if you cannot throw the football at the next level, you're not going to make it. I think right now, this young man, when it's all said and done, I wouldn't be surprised. He'd be the surprise of the draft.
Yeah, like I said, they got those top 5 guys right now. We all know those top 5 guys. And he's going to be in that mix, that 6 through 8 quarterbacks, because that 5, you know, Pickett is up there. Pickett is probably that number 1 guy right now, barring some bizarre happening in the next 45 days or so. And because Pickett, you know, he got a little wiggle to him, which everybody wants somebody with a little wiggle to him now. And so they talk about the level of competition for Pickett. But like I said, this kid does it all, man. He does everything. And I think what he did in the All-Star game this past weekend, that 9 for 11, 146 yards and a touchdown, and drove it and the way driving the team down, even though they came up 1 point short. I think it was 25-24 was the final. He shows you then, like in the moment, but the way the coaches talk about what he did in practice and where he led men, those are the things that separate you. Nothing. There's like, you know, I listened to the one of the analysts talking about, for quarterbacks, either you're a truck or you're a trailer. The truck guy can carry a team. The trailer guy is that you give me a nice group of guys around me, I can compete. Well, this is a guy showing you that if I can be a truck guy, I can lead a group of men, and that's the most important thing. That, you know, as we've seen them in these playoffs here, you know, there's guys that we had 2 or 3 guys who didn't play at this elite those blue bloods of football. They didn't play as blue bloods. Texas Tech ain't never been considered no blue blood, but they got a guy down there who's special, you know. And so it's that if we just get out of that mindset that what did you play at? Can you play at this level? Once we get past that and say, turn on the tape and let's see him work out. That separates everything right there.
One thing I'm gonna say is that they said they said the same thing about the young man. He's gone to glory right now, but he went to a school by the name of Alcorn State.
Oh yes, sir.
They said the same thing about Steve McNair. They said the same thing about the young man I just mentioned his name out of Zachary, Louisiana, by the name of Douglas Williams. Then they said the same thing about the young man that came out of the University of Washington, played in the 78 Rose Bowl. Couldn't even get a look in the league. Had to go to Canada to improve himself and win 6 Grey Cups. But I see greatness with this young man here. Final words about Aqeel Glass, Mr. Bradley Mason.
Well, like I said, number one thing for Aqeel Glass, he's ascending right now. Like I said, on every, we had 32 teams were at the bowl game they went to, and not one single coach
game this past weekend in the Rose Bowl in Pasadena.
Absolutely, and not one coach didn't have something rave to say about that young man. About everyone talks about what he practiced in the practice, which means that transition. Because what you do in practice, then I know you can do it on the field come Sunday at 1:00. And that's the most important thing, that he has size. He has size, which is number one you need to have. He can spin it. He has touch. Attribute. We're talking about a guy who's a leader of men, high IQ, which is because like these playbooks now, you talking about the playbook looks like what we used to call the old phone books now. That was an NFL playbook looks like. The young guys know what a telephone book looks like, but that telephone book, it looks like what the Atlanta telephone book looked like 20 years ago. Ain't no cliff notes. You got to dig in and read, understand concepts, understand reading coverages. You can't get away with just ad-libbing. And I think this young man shows, like I said, you're talking about someone who has got a master's degree, engineering master's degree. I don't think that's going to be a challenge for him.
My final words about Aqeel Glass, quarterback, Alabama A&M, representing the SWAC conference. He might be the most underrated quarterback coming into this draft, and I wouldn't be surprised that when we look at this draft 4 or 5 years from now, he's going to be doing something like this. Like the great group out of Philadelphia, PA by way of Cleveland, Ohio. The rock group out of LA, California. Eddie Levert. Money, money, money. Some people got to have it. Some people really need it. They do good things, and bad things. Aqeel Glass is going to have that money, money, money. And he might be going back to Alabama A&M as a top alumni donor.
Oh yeah. He can stand across the hall from John and be like, hey, we both legends now.
If you like the video today, please come in and share it. I'd like to thank and love to my special guest, Bradley the Truth Mason, Alabama State Hornets, alumnus, Alliance, Ohio, same hometown as Lenny Dawson, Super Bowl IV quarterback champion MVP. Thank you for joining me today, and to our producer, Mr. Logan Landers, for making it happen. One more time for Mr. Glass. Money, money, money. Some people got to have it. He's going to have a lot of it. Y'all be blessed here on 100 Yards of Football.
All right.